Hi, this is Scoggett, and today what I want to do is I put together a little video here, and it's concerning back in the good old days and nowadays how things has really changed since then. And I've got about 18 items what I come up with, what I'm going to touch on the changes what has been made since I've been around, since I was a little boy growing up, and till now. And a lot of you older people will probably agree with me on a lot of this, and the younger ones, of course, you probably won't even know what I'm talking about. I'll start off with the number one thing is like a doctor visit. Used to be the doctor would come to your house. I remember whenever I was sick several times, my mother would just call the doctor. He'd come right out to your house. You didn't have to leave the house or nothing. He'd come out, check you out, prescribe whatever medicine is needed, and then go ahead and leave. And you never even had to get out of your home. And nowadays you have to go to the doctor. Them doctor visits, they're long gone. They don't exist no more, which is a shame because sometimes people are so sick they can't get out and really do need a doctor to come to their house. Another thing is kids playing. Nowadays, you can't get a kid to go outside and play. I remember back when I was a kid, I'd be out when the sun comes up and stay out till the sun went down and then some. I remember my mom used to have to holler at me at 10 o'clock at night. It's completely dark, and tell me to come home. If I didn't get home then of course, I got a whooping. But I'd stay out all day long. I mean, it was being with your friends and stuff. We found things to do, got creative, played baseball. I remember us playing baseball with a piece of a board and just a row of duct tape what we found, and we just made a baseball out of it, and we played baseball with it. We didn't even have baseball or anything. And of course we'd get out there and play cowboys and Indians. We'd have sticks, we'd have pipes, and stay out there all day long. This was like every day, and we look forward to it. Man, we're going to go outside today. And if we acted up, well, Mom would keep us inside, and we wouldn't like that at all. Now you can't even get a kid out. They're interested in sitting in front of the computer all day playing video games. When you tell them to go outside, I've got grandkids, when I tell them, why don't you go outside and shoot some baskets? They look at me and say, why? We'll go ahead and play basketball on the computer or the video machine or whatever they have. So that's where times has changed there. You can't get kids outside anymore. Something else is notice that you can't find a phone booth anymore. Used to be, they were everywhere. They'd have these tall phone booths. You go inside them and place your call. It cost, I think, a dime back then. I remember calling my mom several times on the phone. Put the money in the slot, the 10 cents. Had rotary dial the number, and then you'd talk. And what's cool is if you need to make a phone call at night, you open up the phone booth, and when you shut the door, the light come on. When you open the door, light went out, so you had light to see what you're dialing. Now they have cell phones. Cell phones have replaced all that, so there's not a phone booth around anymore. Something else is drive-in theaters. We used to go to drive-in theaters. I remember my uncle had a station wagon. I was just a little boy then. I guess I was about 9 years old. Excuse me. My uncle they'd have $1 of a carload night at the drive-in theaters, and you get to see two features. Well, my uncle was the type of guy where he wanted to see if he could break the world record on getting people to fit in his car to go to the movie theater, to the drive-in. So we'd pack the car full. He'd invite all the neighbors. He'd invite all the friends. He'd even say, "I'll even pay," which was $1 back then, $1 a carload. And we'd all cram in this station wagon of his and take off. And I remember my mama would pop popcorn at home and put them in these big old trash bags, these brown paper sack bags, and make a jug of lemonade and Kool-Aid, and that's what we'd have in the movie theater. And when we got to a movie theater, then there was a playground there for us to play on, so we'd run and play on the playground until the movie was over, and then go back to the car, or until we got hungry, wanted some of the popcorn, and whatever she had, Kool-Aid or lemonade or whatever. And we had just a fantastic, great time. Cost $1 a carload back then. Now, I think it's about $12 to see one movie. And that's an inside movie because drive-ins don't really exist anymore. We do have one in our hometown. I don't know if it's open anymore, but it was open last year. Something else what I want to touch on is carrying guns to school, toy guns that is. Back in the day, I remember back when I was 6 or 7 years old, I got a Lone Ranger gun set. It had a twin holster set, just like the Lone Ranger had, and back then they made the guns where they were made out of pure steel. Some of them fired little plastic bullets. Some of them was cap guns. But anyway, for Christmas I got this twin Lone Ranger gun set. And I was so proud of that I told my mom, I want to wear it to school and show it for show and tell. So I wore this twin gun set to school and got to school and everything. They did the show and tell. The teacher put on the show and tell. Wore them inside the school. And the teacher took my guns, passed them around so everybody could get a good look at them. And I ended up winning Best Show and Tell and got a gold star for the day, and also got an ice cream bar, one of them Bell bars, which nowadays if you took a toy gun to school, well, you get expelled. You get expelled, they call your parents, you get banned from the school, you're considered a terrorist, that you was going to shoot somebody with a toy gun, and just, it's a big deal now. Back in the day, it wasn't no big deal because things didn't happen like they do now. And it was just, I remember taking those guns to school and everything. Something else at service stations. I remember I used to work at a service station, and I worked for a gentleman, when a car pulled up, you washed his windshield, checked his oil, checked his transmission fluid, checked the tires, pumped the gas. You did all that. And that was considered part of the service of a service station. And I remember doing that back in the 70s. And I pumped the gas for them. You never even had to get out of your car. They gave you the money, went and got the change, brought it back to them. I always had a smile, told them have a good day and come back and see us. Nowadays, you can barely get the guy in the booth or in the store to turn the pump on for you while you pump it yourself. I run in that where I go in and pay for the gas, go out, and sitting there waiting on the pump to come on. Well, it never comes on. So I go back, have to tell him, can you turn the pump on and pump number 2, number 3, or whatever I'm on. Then he'll turn it on. But that's the difference between now and then. Something else is back in the day. You did an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. And usually ended up working pretty hard. I know I did. I worked at various jobs and wasn't no piece of cake. Nowadays, everybody's looking for a government handout. It's like nobody wants to work anymore to draw the pay. They're looking at a handout like you owe them something. And that's what the world's coming to. I mean, it's sad, but nobody wants to work anymore. They're looking for a handout, and back in the day, there was everybody wanting to work. Of course, they didn't have the government handouts like they do now. Now you can uh, get a, if you stub your toe and decide that you're disabled, then you can get a check for it. And it shouldn't be like that either, because that's my tax paying money, paying for someone what's able to work, not work. Now I'm not saying that there's people out there what really do need it, and they do deserve to get it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the people what's kind of milking the system to get out of work just to have a government check coming on, so they don't have to work. Something else that I want to touch on is back when I was a kid, you got Coca-Colas in the bottle, Dr. Pepper in the bottle. There was no such thing as cans. I remember when canned soda pops first come out, and you could take these bottles. They had a deposit on them. I think it was 3 cents, 5 cents. I can't remember. But you could go around and pick up all these soda pop bottles, take them to the store, and cash them in for money. And that's what me and my brother used to do. We used to go out on a Coke bottle hunt and gather up all these Coke bottles, get a burlap gunny sack, and then take them to the store down the street from us, and they'd give us the money for the deposit on them. Then we could buy candy or whatever we wanted to buy, which those days are long gone. You can still take the cans and sell them at various places for the aluminum in them, but it was just, back then there was no cans, there was all bottles. And I remember a friend of mine, his dad worked for the Coca-Cola company, and he used to just throw the empty bottles on top, and they come in a wooden case. And I remember he told me stories about how he would turn the corner too fast, they'd slide off and bust all over the road, and then you'd have a mess. And what's really weird about it back then is you could have these soda pops all on the truck. He could be inside and nobody would ever take any of them. Nobody would mess with it. It just was a different time back then. Something else what I want to relate on is getting spanked or disciplined at the store. I remember when we used to go to the grocery store, me and my brother acted up, my mom would give us a good swat. Or she'd even, at times I had it where she'd take a belt to us right there in the store. People would be watching that whenever we was acting up and throwing a fit or whatever we was doing, and they'd look at us, look around, and I'd heard them make a comment, "Boy, he needed that." Now you try to do that, give your kid a swat on the backside in the store. Well, there's someone on the phone to the CPS that, oh, he's mistreating his child, and oh, you ought to come over here and see this. This shouldn't be done in public, and go on and on and on. Well, I'll put it to you this way: if I would have been born in these times, like right today, my mom back then, she would have been doing a life term, I guarantee you, for as many whoopings that we got in public. Which that's everybody back then. It was like, boy, he needed that, and yeah, that's what he needed. I've done the same thing, and that's the way it was back then compared to now. Now they get things blown out of proportion. Heck, if you look at the kid wrong, you're doing something wrong. You know, if you kind of look at him like you going to give him a swat or two, well, then the cop is down there saying, "Hey, what's going on here?" You know, that kind of stuff. Something else is like a gang of boys walking down the street. I remember I used to hang out with my friends, and we'd have maybe 6 or 7 of us be walking down the street. Neighbors be out there and like, "Hey, how's it going?" We'd wave back and go on. Nowadays, if you see a bunch of like 6 or 7 kids walking down the street together, they're classified as gang members. Oh, there'll be people running inside, locking their doors, and looking out the windows, seeing if they're going to do something. Back then, it was just different. And back then, something else is the cars look cool. Like I remember I grew up like during the 70s, and we had these big old cars, and everything. The cars just look neat, and you could determine like, oh yeah, there goes a Dodge Charger, or wow, there's a Cadillac Eldorado. And nowadays they're so scrunched up, and they all look the same. You can't tell. Well, I wonder what that is. You look at a Cadillac, and that you mean that's a Cadillac? Wow, they cut down on the size of that. I remember when the Cadillacs was big, and my uncle, he was also big on Cadillacs, and I remember he had a 1959 Cadillac. That thing had tail fins on it. It looked like a fish, and front had two big old things on top, looked like bullets coming out the front. And I remember that Cadillac because it's so cool to drive in, and it was convertible, and we used to cruise around in, and I thought it was neat. Wish I had one of those now. Something else is like used to order items through the mail. Like you'd collect these box tops from the cereal, and you collect enough of them, then you could get some kind of little toy. Well, you get enough of them, then you filled out that little form and send them in with the box tops and send it off, and then you wait like 6 weeks and then finally get it. That was part of the fun, is you sitting there waiting on it, and every day you go to the mailbox, ask the mailman, hey, did it come in today? Did you come? No, not today. No, did you come in today? And finally, about 4 to 6 weeks later, then he says, I got a box for you. Oh man, that was great. You just run in there, open it up, and then you get your toy, whatever. Now you order everything online. You just go online, order it, hell, it's there the next day. Something else is local police used to, when they saw like a gang of us boys out there, 6 or 7 of them, they'd be driving down the street and, oh, wave at you. How you doing? How's it going? You know, hi, how's it going today? Doing all right? And, you know, go on about their business. Now they see a group of kids outside. They're driving by real slow, eyeballing them like they're fixing to do something wrong. And that shouldn't be like that either. I mean, not all kids are bad, you know, or up to something. And that's what people need to realize, that there's kids out there nowadays just hanging out and not really bothering anybody. But the local police looking at them as being thugs. Something else is they had good TV back then. Used to watch Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, and all these other good programs. The one show I can't believe I wasted a lot of time on was Charlie's Angels. I look at it today and I'm like, wow, I wasted a good hour a week watching this crap. You know, but it was back in the day, and it was a going thing, so, you know, I had to keep up with episodes. And they had real good TV back then. They had a lot of westerns. When I was growing up, I grew up with a lot of westerns, and like the Rifleman, Paladin, Have Gun Will Travel, Wanted Dead or Alive, and just good decent TV. Nowadays, all what you get is reality shows. And reality shows don't appeal to me at all. I don't watch any of them. I just don't get into that. I could care less about who's hanging out with who, or if a certain person got a $1,000 pair of shoes. I could care less. But back then they had, when I was growing up, they did have good TV, what was worth watching. And something else is they had on TV, they had like 3 channels. You got like 3 channels on local channels what you watch. Then I remember when cable first come out, you'd get, I think it was 10 to 12 channels. And they'd come out and run a line to the telephone pole. And when they went to disconnect it, if you didn't pay your bill, they'd just climb up there and just unscrew 2 wires from the top. And it would disconnect your cable. Well, we had cable and got kind of behind on the bill one time, and I told my brother, I said, let's hook the cable on. Now, Mama didn't know about this. She didn't know about this. And I said, let's hook the cable up. So we climbed. So I climbed up there. I remember I climbed up that telephone pole and hooked up, which was stupid. I could have got shocked and wouldn't be doing this video now. But anyway, I hooked up the wires needed, and my brother was inside by the door. And I'd tell him, "How is it looking?" I'd holler out, "Is it on?" "No, not yet." "Is it on?" "Yeah, it's on. It's on. It's coming in clear." "Oh, that's it." Then I climbed down that telephone pole and didn't even realize it, but committing cable theft at an early age. And that was back a long time ago. I was still a kid and everything. Then Mama come home and says, "Hey, the cable's back on?" "Yep, I don't know. I guess they turned it back on." "Well, we kind of behind," I thought. Well, then it went on for a couple of weeks. Then the guy would come by and check and disconnect it again. So then I'd go up the pole again, and it just went on like that. Kind of funny when you think about it. Something else they had back when I was growing up was transistor radios. You'd go down to Radio Shack or someplace like that for $5.99. You could get a transistor radio with a little video radio like this, what you carry around, listen to music to, and it only got AM. That's the only thing they had. And I remember when FM come out. In fact, AM back when I was a kid, that's the only thing there was, and then FM come out a little bit later. And now they got MP3 players. They got all kinds of computers. What does all the brings your music to up, and you choose what kind of music you want to listen to. Got high def radios and all kinds of stuff. What don't really get into because I wouldn't even know how to get them to work. Something else what we used to do is when we went to sleep at night, used to leave the doors unlocked. Yeah, during the summer, I remember leave the door open with the screen door fastened with just pulled to, and go to sleep. Nobody ever walked in your house. Nobody bothered you. Nobody broke into your house, and you felt safe doing that. You didn't have to lock the doors. I remember us going off to the store shopping, and Mama never locked the doors. They always left them open, and nobody ever robbed us or took anything from us or anything. Nowadays, you got to have bars on the windows, bars on the doors, alarm systems, and everything else. And that's how the times have changed from back when I was a kid up until now. And something else what I wanted to touch on, and this is the final thing, is there was a time when employers used to honestly want to keep you there. In other words, if you were going to leave and you come in and told your boss, say, "I found a job and it pays me like 25 cents more an hour and I think I'm going to take it," he would be like, "Let's come in and sit down and talk about this," because this has happened to me several times. Let's talk about this and see what we can do to keep you here. You're a good employee and we want to keep you here, and you're an asset to the company, and just go on and he'd tell you what he thought about you. And it was just that they really wanted you there, and they really appreciated the job you did. Now you can do a good job for them if you said, "Well, this other I'm going to go ahead and leave. I'm planning on taking this other job offer. I got a job offer somewhere else, and it's going to pay me $1 more an hour, and think I'm going to go ahead and take it." Well, nowadays the boss is like, "Okay, bye. Have good luck over there. Good luck to your new job. See you later." They don't even take the initiative to see if there's a problem or if they can match the price and keep you there. They could care less, because nowadays it's come to like, if you're working at a place, you can be replaced with somebody else, and if you're drawing top pay, then you can be replaced with somebody else where they don't have to pay them as much. And that's what it's come to, which shouldn't be like that either. That's really messed up, because you get out there and do these employers a good job and work hard and everything to get done what needs to be done and to please them and everything, and then you get treated like that. I know I've been on jobs where that was the case, and been with one 16 years, and went in and told them I was going to quit and seek another line of employment, and their attitude was like, okay, bye, good luck, see ya. That's, gratitude out of 16 years. But used to be back when I was younger, the boss would talk to you and really wanted to keep you. This was just a little video what I thought I'd make, and kind of like a little now and then rant. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you check out my channel, and leave a comment whether you like the video, whether you don't, whether you agree with it, whether you don't. It's all good. Appreciate you watching, and y'all take care.